I am here, as you guys probably at this point already know, with Robo President, the creator of this, which is the Blaston Iceberg. I can't believe I have to explain all this shit again because my fucking mic was muted. God damn it. This has had several iterations. I attempted to do a video on this at some point, but scripts are for simps, and we're going to do it all live now. So we're just going to go back and forth, picking one item from each section until we're done with that section, and then we're going to go down. All right, President, you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. Let's let you go first.
All right. Well, I'll start off with Golden Knight is Octo 1. So, as we know, a couple months ago, before the Crackdown update, there were some mysterious Octo agents that were making their way into Q, and nobody had access to the skin yet. This was pre-Crackdown update. And they kind of looked like cops almost, like Blaston.
They are. They're the Blaston cops.
Yeah,
if you
Blaston
haven't played
cops, right? And a lot of people don't remember how significant this was because nobody had access to the skin. Nobody knew who they were, and they were good at the game. So there was a lot of talk on who these people were, and they had the names Octo 1 through 3, and immediately accusations started flying. It's so-and-so, it's blah-de-blah, it's hooty-hoo, or whatever. Right?
God, I hate that.
And people wanted to, because it played right on that Smurf trope, and people wanted to absolutely figure it out.
Oh yeah, if you are watching this at some point in the future and you are not familiar with Blaston Smurfs, buckle up because it's like half the iceberg.
Indeed. And so Golden Knight was prime suspect number 1. This was like the biggest conspiracy. There were videos made about this because at the time, I mean, he was the golden boy, and in many ways he still is in our hearts. He's out there picking potatoes. In our heart. He just has a bad play space right now. I know these. Indeed, yes. But he'll ditch the Spuds one day and he'll come roaring back to us. I know. So. But yeah, Golden Knight is Octo 1. It's one of the older conspiracies that many of us now know. His identity was revealed.
Yes.
I think in a post somewhere.
I have a bit of a surprise for everybody on the stream. Let's see if I can get this right. Nope, I'm completely off, but you know what? I'll go ahead and I'll work on it a little bit. I should be able to. I'll go ahead and clear it right now. I did manage to get a telestrator, which if y'all don't know what that is, it's basically just a whiteboard that you can use on stream. But I'm not going to go ahead and use it right now. You guys are just going to have to follow with your eyes, all right? This is advanced streaming, all right? In that case, I guess we take Weso too. Weso is Octo 2 as well. So this was an event with 3 people. This was Golden Knight as Octo 1, Weso as Octo 2, and I believe it was Tillabit as Octo 3.
Yes.
Should I pull up my notes? It's not a script. It's notes. There we go. Yes. So yeah, it was cool. That was I remember that event when I was playing through it, and I did never encounter them in Q, but I certainly saw people talking about it.
Yeah, there was nothing like it at the time. I mean, unique skins and then really high skill level out of nowhere. It was unprecedented.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna take the next one. I'm gonna take drop blocking. So drop blocking is a term very near and dear to my heart, and I would like to reiterate this for everybody. I invented the term drop blocking. I was not the originator. Sorry, I fucked up our audio there for a second. Let me repeat myself. I am not the inventor or the popularizer of the technique, but I did say the term on stream. It was originally called clicking, and Golden Knight came out with a video on it. And he described this technique where everyone knew that you could throw your weapons into bullets, but he showed that if you were quick about it, you could drop it into a bullet and then pick up the weapon again. And he was saying it was like clicking because you'd be like clicking a mouse on top of the bullet. And it was during my July 4th tourney, the Second Amendment tourney last year, that it basically was the game changer because so many people were using the Hammer Ellipse and all these bullet hell weapons and the Wildcat, that if you were able to drop block effectively, you could basically prevent all damage. Also at this point, because the devs never really expected this to be a technique people would actively use, every weapon had, I believe, 15 health, and the only exception was nades, which had 25 health. So you could drop block a Viper bullet and keep going. It was a really interesting time. They ended up changing it. It had to have been more health, huh? Do you remember the specific value, or am I just too deep in the numbers?
I think it was health. Yeah, you might be right. I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm too deep in the Nova math, man. All right. Yeah, so that's drop blocking. Next.
All right, I'll take Smurfs because I did a whole video on this.
I'm getting hydrated request, so I'll be right back. But yes, explain it.
All right. So everyone's like, Robo, we know what a Smurf is. I fight them every night, you know. Look, okay, it's part of Blaston culture. It's inevitable. So let me just do a quick little explanation one more time. All right. It's just when somebody else claims they try to act like they're you know, they're something that they're not. So they act like that they're a low skill, you know, it's their fake account, and then they show up and then they beat the brakes off you, and somehow they're good out of nowhere. That's a Smurf. They're blue.
Someone who has experience, who's already gotten up to maybe Overlord, and has a new account. And because of how Blaston cross-platform works, if you have an account on PS or PC VR and you want to play on your Oculus, you have to make a new. There are some people who have merged the accounts, but I don't think it's like publicly known functionality of the game. Either way, Smurfs take it a step further by also usually going on Discord and participating in Fightnights as those Smurfs. I've had Smurfs come to Fightnights before in character. So sometimes it's fun. However, at the end of the day, having to play against a bunch of new people to climb can be frustrating for a lot of the people you are climbing against. So generally not a well looked upon practice. Nothing else.
Yeah, so pretty simple.
Oh, all right. Speaking of Fightnights, the small, like, it's been here since the beginning, but it ultra small text, and so it's just gotten fuzzier and fuzzier. Pretty soon, it's just gonna be a red stain
as more and more JPEG is added to.
Yeah, we need more pixels. Yeah. Fightnights is an event that I run. In case you are watching the stream and somehow don't know about Fightnights, please reach out to me. I'd love to invite you. Essentially, it is a pick up and play event. You can toggle your remote on or off, and if it's on, it's kind of like that one steak restaurant. If it's on, that means you can get matches, and if it's off, they walk right by your table. So it's very flexible. It was a weekly event. I am on hiatus. I am about to make a big move, and I have a bunch of tournaments over the next couple weeks. I might do a boss rush, which is something I would love to be on this iceberg, but that's a whole different thing. So yeah, again, if you don't know the stuff that I do, and you're one of the 7 people watching the stream, please reach out, because I would love to tell you more about the stuff that I do. All right, self-promotion out of the way. Robo President, it is your turn again.
All right, standing on objects for height. You guys should know this is cheating. Don't do it. It is against the code of conduct. In case you didn't know, height makes a tiny advantage sometimes in combat. And so if you magically grow with extendo legs, like the villain out of the Lego movie, it may actually give you an advantage in a match. So some people were doing this, and Rez initially didn't have an official statement on it, and then they made an official statement and said, don't do it anymore. So we had a couple members of the community who were known for this, and it's mostly died out. I don't really see it anymore at all.
Completely.
Yeah.
I've seen some people mess around with their like actual boundary height, but you know, they literally and I won't bother finding the actual rules, the actual official Resolution Games tournament rules. But in the official tournament rules, it does mention that standing on like ottomans or stools in order to get an advantage in the game is against the rules, and it is you could be kicked out of it. I have no idea how you would actually play Blaston without just standing still, though. All right, we're running out of stuff. Real ads in game. There we go. There, I said that we weren't having many left, and now we got the big controversy. So, last summer, at the beginning of last summer, Facebook announced a new ad partner. And they announced that in several VR games on the Oculus Quest, and only on the Oculus Quest, they would begin showing targeted ads, like the ones that you can see on Facebook. The example that they actually showed, and this one I am going to go ahead and look up, because I'm sure that I'll find it on the very, very first. I'll try and find the picture. But essentially, the picture that they included in the article was of the new Blaston arena, and we all had an update that was about to come out that utilized this new arena. So everyone thought that the game was going to get ads. There was a huge sort of controversy. They opened up a whole channel so that people could complain in the Blaston Discord server. And then eventually Resolution Games said, hey, after all this bad press, you know, we weren't even officially supposed to be on. This was like a test image. We're just not even going to bother with it, and we're going to pull out. You could speculate that this is actually the reason that the game increased from $10 to $20, is because they pulled out of this ad program. But ultimately, at the end of the day, no one wants to go into virtual reality and see ads. I think it's kind of inevitable to some degree, especially as corporations begin to own more of the games that we play. But, you know, they ended up not going with it either way, so we don't have to worry about it. Yay.
Yeah. This was, oh my gosh, the review bombing. Oh my goodness.
Yes, there was also review. Gosh, I should look at my notes. It was in an Oculus blog post. There was review bombing and lots of hurt feeling. Many feelings were lost that day.
The rump roasting. Unprecedented.
Listen, you try to be on the forefront. You think that everyone think it's going to be cool, guys. It's going to be just like Ready Player One. And people are like, we don't want to live in Ready Player One. All right. What next? What do we even have left?
I'll go ahead and tackle a simple one. Attachments added. Attachments got added to Blaston, guys. In case you didn't know this, didn't always have attachments. So maybe you're so high up on the iceberg, you're in the clouds. If you missed,
it's the time before the attachment play.
Welcome to reality. So attachments now modify guns in their stats.
Also, another thing, as someone who recently had to level up a Smurf, that I just want to make everyone aware of, you also have to unlock all other weapons in Blaston now. Yeah, I'm not in love with that design choice, but it does utilize the challenges system. So, it's kind of cool. But I would just much rather have the weapon buy it. All right, cheating in OZO darts. You can just walk right up to the board and put the dart in the middle. No one's going to stop you. I think that's all the explanation I need on that one, right?
Yeah, they don't want you to know, but you can just walk up to the board.
You can just won't tell you.
Just walk up and just right on there. Just.
It's crazy. I went so long without even thinking about it.
I think last did we touch Hammer E best weapon?
No, we actually didn't. At the very tip of the iceberg. Do you want to? There's a lot to say about it. Do you want to start or should I?
Oh boy, man! I feel like if I say something about this, the Hammer E bros are gonna come in and go,
skill. All right. I think the best way to describe this, it's something I've been personally thinking about recently, because I don't know if I'm gonna do another tier list, but Blaston at the end of the day is not a shooter. It's a bullet hell. Right? The object of the game is not necessarily just to shoot, it is to dodge out of the way of all these semi-slow projectiles that are going to cloud your arena. And Blaston gives you a lot of different ways of approaching this end goal. Hammer E happens to spread a whole bunch of bullets somewhat unevenly across a general area, and they have a curve. It is kind of the all-around best weapon that you can put onto a build. It's not best in any one area except in swarming, your opponent's play area with bullets. And even now, I think that we have some contenders that do that a little bit better. But as far as, balancing the game goes, it is sort of the overall fundamental good weapon. And that's been true for almost every single major meta that the game has had.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head.
I've never put it in an A tier for that reason, or an S tier for that reason. It's always been at the very tip top of A tier for me, but it's never really defined the meta by itself. I think that even the meta that we're in now is more defined by the slow hammer nade than it is necessarily by the hammer ellipse. I think it goes very well with that one.
Right. Well, that's because hammer E is like, it's a combo starter.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It punishes your opponent for moving, which is, if you think about it, kind of what bullet hells do too. If you think about the classic arcade machines and stuff like that, if you stay in one spot and you move out of the way of one projectile and move into another projectile, you still get killed. And a lot of them will try and push you with regular projectiles, and then the occasional one thing through that forces you to move.
Indeed.
All right.
Well said.
I think we are below water.
Let us submerge. Let's head into the deep blue.
Yeah, what did I call this on my thing? Above water, below the surface. There you go. All right. Who goes? Is it you? Is it me? Does it matter?
So I'll tackle this next one. Let's start with the Arctic Blast podium, the ice podium, being more zap prone.
Oh, yes.
So I think initially it was actually objectively more zap prone. Something was not right with the corners. I think that was patched, but I think with its appearance now, it's almost like, since it's not actually a hexagon, sometimes you fake yourself out. I don't know. A lot of players will report feeling like they end up out of boundsing themselves more on the roundness of the ice podium rather than your standard hexagon podium. I don't know. That just seems like standard below the surface information to me.
The corners are kind of weird. And because of that, it's very hard to tell where the actual edge of the arena is. In case you don't know, in Blaston, if you hit the edge of the arena, you take a whole bunch of damage. So it's best advice to just kind of stay away from all of that. Gosh, scripts are for simps, but I sound like a bitch. All right. But yeah. I don't know if it was. It also kind of messed with some players in the new game mode that took place in the Arctic Freeze Arena. A lot of players claimed right off the bat, hey, are these podiums closer together? And I don't think that Resolution ever... They said, no, they aren't any closer together, but I don't think that, there was ever a reason as to why all these players thought that they were closer together. All right, trying to find a good one. Fighting in the main menu lobby. There is a glitch. It usually, I think it's at this point been pretty much patched out. But when you were making a battle from Ozo, sometimes it would bring you to the main menu arena instead of the actual warhouse, which is where you usually play. You do actually play in the main menu area once. It is when you do the tutorial. Something's happening and it's putting you in that arena instead of the actual arena you're supposed to.
I completely forgot about that. It's been so long since I've been a tutorial.
That's why I wrote notes, motherfucker. I did digging. I looked into it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I also, in case you didn't notice, all the things in gold are the things that you took off of this list, or that at least I couldn't find anymore.
Well, I mean, one of these that probably needs to come off is secret Tether meta, because Tether is now worthless.
Yeah, there is no longer a secret Tether meta.
I'll tackle this one really quick. There used to be a joke that Tether was meta. This was mainly to poke fun at the few people that consistently used Tether, also known as Quicksilver, which is the weapon that when you grab it in your one hand, it would cause the projectiles in the other hand to move quickly. There was some balancing by the developers. They had explained that Tether had caused or took advantage of, in their words, of Blaston's boosting issues that they were trying to remedy. So they scaled it back, and now Tether's kind of in a weird spot. So hopefully that'll get fixed, and then maybe we can bring Secret Tether Meta back to where it needs to go. But right now, maybe really is a secret meta, because man,
it's so secret, it's so underground, you can't even see it.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Here we go. Oh, there we are. I just realized that I can mark this up. Zoom in on it while I mark it up. No, of course I. This is useless. All right. But yeah, no, it's real sad what they did to the Tether. Honestly, I was one of those Tether people who was pushing the secret Tether meta, and in the meta that was, I believe it was Quick Draw. It may have been like the actual campaign update. But the main like meta strategy was basically to just constantly do chip damage over and over and over, and do like do just constant chip damage, and then just hide behind double shields and hope that you didn't get hit and time out the clock. So bringing out the Tether all of a sudden put the pressure on your opponent a lot of the times to either find a way to dodge or to do more significant amounts of damage to you at a time. Rest in peace, Tether. We'll get to it when we talk about boosting, but God, they didn't even pretend like it was working. They were like, no, it's broken. Go use other weapons. We're going to have attachments that fix it. We're going to have this attachment now that increases your does basically the entire reason why you would run a Tether in the first place is to use it with the Wildcat. We're just going to go ahead and make that part of the Wildcat now. But yeah. Rest in peace, f***ing Tether. All my homies still use Tether with nades. Trying to find some of these I still don't really know too much about, so I don't want to be the first person to speak about them. Let's talk about underground token bets. I know that I'm gonna steal a little bit of the thunder here for this one, but essentially, if you go into the Ozo Lounge and you fight with somebody, which you can do anytime, it's free and the cops can't stop you. Sometimes your opponent will offer up a wager of tokens. Tokens are not used for anything in the game outside of playing the arcade game, and if you ever need more, you can, I believe, pick up 4 to 5 every single time that you walk through the main hallway from the main menu to the Ozo Lounge. And yeah, there's been some people who've just gotten an incredible amount of tokens. They have just too much, a real insane amount, a real silly amount of tokens.
24 is approaching 10K, right?
Yeah. Oh my God, really 10K? Really 10K?
Something like that, yeah. It's nuts.
I'm sorry, I had to word drop that, and it was from like 10 minutes. If bot's even still here. All right, your turn.
All right. Let me hit one of. Let me hit a really out there one. Let's go for inappropriate Ozo photos. So there is a camera in the Ozo Lounge that, if you pick it up in game and you can point it at yourself, you can wave it around, whatever. You can take pictures and you can upload them straight to the Blaston Discord. And a bot that I presume Resolution probably did a webhook or something. It'll just post straight to Discord, and it just lives there. Now, here's the funny part: because a lot of people don't go look at these photos, and because it's not like heavily moderated, sometimes if you go look at some of the photos, there's some wild stuff that I've seen that goes completely unchecked and unmoderated. I have screenshots of people making wieners out of the cups in the Ozo Lounge. Like, people made like anatomically correct dongs. Like,
what the fuck?
Yeah, They made I need to obviously I'm not going to post them on stream, but you know, who knows, maybe I'll
I will know.
We'll get a blurred out one for the final video. But yeah, and they were just sitting in the Blaston Discord, completely unchallenged, and then like other things too. People like obviously like humping each other. It's just wild stuff.
What you can expect from the
because nobody goes and looks in here ever. So it's just I don't know. It's just absolutely hysterical stuff.
I wonder how many gigabytes this has taken up at this point.
So yeah, people will take those cups and they arrange them into all kinds of inappropriate things. So, and then they just snap a picture and whoop, it goes right up.
Dear God. Yeah. There's I think actually I only I think I almost spoiled something for later. I think we're gonna move on. I think that one's good. I think I know what's further down this, but again, I haven't really looked at this too much. We're doing this entirely unscripted.
You like how as soon as I started talking about the inappropriate pictures, our viewer count we just started skyrocketing.
There we go. Yeah, hell yeah!
This is how we get it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Quickly, that's how you get up on Twitch. How didn't I tell from all the half-naked girls on the front? Dang it! I think there's actually less.
Oh, we went up from 4 to 6.
There you go. Do you see what I'm talking about? Anyway.
Yeah.
Ultimechs. Ultimechs is the next game that Resolution, the game studio that published Blaston, is making. It is. Full disclosure, I was part of the beta. I cannot talk at all about the beta. I did sign an NDA. However, from most of the media coverage, it is a game where you play mechs, and essentially you play soccer with giant robot mech. That's, I believe, really all I can say.
Here, I'll say something. So, I signed an NDA, but I was not part of the beta because I just think it got buried in my emails and I never downloaded anything. So I have no information.
All right. Yeah, but
I got nothing.
Wait. Okay. All right.
I got zilch.
Okay. It was a Discord. Cruxer was in the Discord. I think I can say who was in the beta.
I got nothing. I just got too busy, so I totally missed out on it.
Yeah, what else on here? We didn't do MAUX.
Yeah, is that how you say it? How do you say that?
Mao. I just call it MAUX. I know it's wrong, but who's gonna stop me?
Mahao. Okay.
The bot just accidentally made 5 clips of stream. Good. That's probably why we spiked up in viewers, all things considered.
Are we on ad break right now?
Oh yeah, we are on it. Well, here's the thing: if I run ads on the stream, they actually can still watch the stream unless they're on a mobile device. But we'll wait.
Okay,
we'll wait for 22 seconds.
We'll wait for our.
Thank you to our lovely subscribers,
unwashed mobile viewers.
Exactly. Just kidding. you all you TV viewers out there.
Yeah, you can't hear this, TV viewers.
Some of them can't. Anyways.
I just
next.
All right, so we've got
Tripple Juggle, we've got Cheeseburger's BearBlast, we've got MAUX, Master 17 Subriminal, grenade only loadouts. Some skins have broken view models. Blaston is a real place. I can take that one if you want to take some skins have broken view models.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, Blaston is a real place. If you dive into the deep Blaston lore, they reference essentially the ongoing thing. Blaston exists in universe as a modification of a children's game that allows for virtual reality fighting. It is left intentionally unclear as to whether or not the world of Blaston really exists. canonically within its own universe, or whether it's a virtual world that people log on to. There are plenty of things you can go read on like the Twitter and stuff. They occasionally post little lore nuggets. They talk about players designing new weapons and coding new weapons, specifically hacking new weapons. And then they also talk about places in Blaston arenas and stuff like that being replications of real world locations, or locations that used to exist in the real world. Thus, the Arctic Freeze update where you're fighting on a glacier. Glaciers no longer exist in the Blaston world. So yeah, that's the deep Blaston lore on that one.
And this one is a bit of it's got a double meaning too, because Blaston is also actually a real place. In
the Google search.
Yes, it is a real village. If you Google Blaston, it will come up as a village. Is the UK?
Yeah. Yeah,
it's a village in the UK.
Oh, they finally fixed the SEO, sadly. I'm trying to Google search for it. Do Blaston location.
Oh, they fixed it. No.
They did. They fixed the SEO. They finally figured out the SEO.
How unfortunate. Well, it's still a real place.
Yep, still a real place in, drumroll please, jolly old England.
Yes. Tell Tess to go down to Blaston. That's probably where Tess lives.
I don't know. I didn't make this iceberg. Robo President made the iceberg. So if Robo Goblin wants to make an iceberg and do a video about it, sure, go right ahead. I can't tell you, like, it's existed for about a year now. It's existed for a while. Anyways, zoop. I'm keeping that on standby. Keep it on standby.
All right. Let me tackle some skins have broken view models. So let's talk about what a view model is and like a world model is for a second, for those of you that aren't familiar. So a view model is when in a first-person game you're looking at something and you see it from your first-person perspective. That is a view model, and a world model is typically something that you see out in the world. Now, in Blaston, some characters, when you equip them as a skin, the parts of their view models like clip with your first-person perspective and get in the way. I think what's his name? Taylock has parts of his skin that clip in the way. So does what is it? I think, does Drax have it too?
It's the new one. What's his name?
The Octo dude does.
The Octo Agent does?
Yeah, or his pauldrons. His pauldrons do, right?
Why are you featured? Oh, like below the thing, because you're on my auto host list, RoboGoblin. You're welcome. Yeah, you've streamed Fightnights like 3 times. Yeah, I put you on the auto list.
Reciprocity. I can't say the word.
Yeah,
that's a hard word.
You can be president and he can be Robo.
Yeah, how about that?
But yeah, geez, I'm just gonna look up the emoji name. Gonna kill me, and I want to get the clean cut of audio. Either way, come on. His name is Shocks. Shocks, when he was released, had a broken view model with his little face glitchy thing. And then they patched it, and then it was fixed. And it's no longer broken. Fun fact about fixing things is that then they're no longer broken. What else do we got? I'm not gonna touch Cheeseburger as BearBlast. I'm gonna do Tripple Juggle. There's a clip of me that I believe did actually get posted on the official Blaston YouTube channel, where Woody during the VAL Summer Games finals, or the semifinals, him against Turbo, which we'll talk about in just a second, where he no, I'm sorry. This was Josie in the finals? This actually may have been Josie in the finals. Let me look it up. Because I definitely know that it's on the official Blaston YouTube channel. But yeah, and so people hadn't really juggled like weapons before and actually used it as like a real mechanic. And pretty much immediately after that, it wasn't like people started doing it, and it became something that you could do in Blaston. Now with the Luma, that's basically the whole weapon is just juggling with other weapons and just slinging off shots. But at the time it was like huge. It was out of nowhere, and it was crazy that somebody was doing it in such a high level match. I'm gonna try and find the video, but you go ahead and do yours.
Okay. I'm gonna do Cheeseburger's BearBlast last on this section, because that is, I think, the most important one for this section. Let me go ahead and knock out the low-hanging fruit. That being I'm gonna do Subriminal Master 17 together. So
that's good, yeah.
So when this
also, I'm so sorry to cut you off, but I do want to get it in before you say it. 24's most recent photo of his token counter is at 17777, so 17,000. He's at 19,000 now, which is just insane. Yes, I did also find the clip, but go ahead and do Subliminal and Master 17
what
first.
The heck? Okay, so when this iceberg was made, Subriminal was the king of laggy players. He was well known for it, and Master 17 was a player who was like nice. He just didn't have a good connection, so he kind of got like lumped in there. He's since fixed his connection, and now he has a stable connection. He's actually a really strong player, very strong. So he's kind of like a relic that still sits around on this iceberg. But I think he can still exist on this iceberg with some of his like really funny air quotes posting. You know, he's got a very particular set of Discord posting and cadence that is interesting. So yeah, but Subliminal, yeah, that was like, he was like the master of latency. In fact, it got so bad that players would call him out in the Discord, be like, hey, Subliminal's in queue, get out. And people would hop out of queue because they couldn't stand to lose losing to Subliminal.
Jeez, yeah, I remember that, because there was at one point where he came back and then people started really complaining about it for like a week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did find the clip, but I'm actually going to go ahead and include it when we talk about the Turb0 VAL incident. So I think that pretty much grenade only loadout. You can run a grenade only loadout if you want to. Go figure. Why would you want to run a grenade only loadout? Well, it essentially means that you can fire off every single thing you have in your kit at one time, and then wait, or you can use it in like groups of 3 and do juggling and stuff like that. It's mostly used for trolling.
Yeah.
I think that only leaves the big one.
The big one. Okay. All right.
Shift it up a little bit. There you go.
Cheeseburger is BearBlast. So BearBlast is a well-known member of the community who also has considerable blast-on skill. And there just so happens to be another member of the community that shares his same stature, who has his same body movements, and plays exactly the same and talks the same in the Discord, but just wears a different skin and just has a different name. And so people started putting 2 and 2 together. I will take this one. I was kind of the first one to call it out and say like, hey, you two are the same person, because you would beat Bear at something and Cheeseburger would magically show up with the counter to your loadout in queue immediately. So yeah, let me tell you this. We're going to come back to this subject, because deeper on this iceberg, this is a full-blown conspiracy. This does not just end with Cheeseburger is BearBlast. Down in the deep recesses of this iceberg, there is something so dark and so deep. Your guys' minds are going to get absolutely turned on their heads. I promise you that. So
that's actually going to be the name of the video.
And I know this. When I do this, I'm gonna piss off Bear. I'm sorry, Bear. I'm sorry that I'm doing this.
Sorry, it's all too easy. I like BearBlast. Let me tell you, I personally do not comment at all on Smurfs. We'll also get into people like Hell Knight, and again, people come to Fightnights, and I'm like, cool, it's a whole new Discord account. I'm totally chill with it. So as much as there is some proof for this, I will let Robo President. I will let you, the viewer, actually decide. I will let you. I will be the dissenting opinion here. That way, Robo President can go completely bat off the fucking deep end as much as he wants.
Well, one, I have undeniable proof for one. I do have undeniable proof. I do.
I've got the files.
I do have undeniable proof for one, but for two, it's nutty. It is absolutely bonkers how deep it goes. So let's just say that when we get to the, I'm going to reference it later, and you're going to know exactly. I'm going to tie it all together. It's nuts. So, anyways, we'll come back to this.
All right. Cool. All right, and I think that's everything for Below the Surface. As honorable mentions, things that were taken off this list at some point. Pre-nerf Nova Helix. It was a scary weapon. It took more hits to break. And then they nerfed it within like a week to lower the health of the projectile significantly. They did recently buff it again, but now it's even more useless. And until they give it a third shot, I am protesting the use of the Nova Helix. Ozo Elevator out of bounds. It is possible to essentially teleport outside of the Ozo Elevator, and you're just kind of in a black void. And it is horrifying. Penskin Requests. Dude, you don't even fucking know. I analyzed this shit.
Spooky's gonna be happy about this one.
Basically, Cryox said in a post, someone some night we heard humming this mantra on Discord, penguin, penskin. We all thought that was great feedback and proceeded to make the Cryox armor. After all, what better times than the holidays to look like a classy penguin? There's no origin for this message at all. It's not on the Discord. One of the devs mentioned it, and that's it. $80 Blaston Hoodie.
Oh, no.
Again, stuff you took off this list,
I don't know what happened.
President.
I don't know why
the stuff you took off this list.
I'm going to say it got JPEG'd out of existence.
It got JPEG'd out, but you know what? I have an OG version of it on here, so you're welcome. Anyways, there was a short-lived merch shop for Blaston. It featured many items, including an item I actually have. I bought a t-shirt. But one of the items that they featured was an $80 Blaston hoodie. That is the one that always get memes because it's just a normal hoodie. Like, why were they selling it for $80? No one mentioned the Blaston leggings for men. And I always thought that was the more interesting of those two items. That's basically it. Turns out that Iceland has some pretty strict laws about exporting stuff, and they were operating without a license, so they did have to shut the store down. But that's pretty much that. Just Dodge. It's the Blaston equivalent of Get Good. There's nothing about that here. Skill Plateau Limit Break. Basically, there's kind of like a very significant skill jump from 1950 to 2000 LP. It's the brick wall that a lot of players hit. Bananas many names. Bananas for Blaston, who I believe at this point, I don't want to dox them, but they are still very active within the servers. Mm-hmm. They frequently change their name. They did a whole Game of Thrones thing. They did a whole Breaking Bad thing. And that is it. That is all. I will be adding the good bits from the stuff that was cut out, but yes. All right, I've talked a lot, so feel free to take at least 2 if you want. As we get to the deeper waters.
So now we're heading to the bottom of the iceberg. So let's get a couple of these top ones out of the way. So Blasted Update Exit. So during Quick Draw, one of the community's most prominent members and top players, Blasted, he ran a top 10 server. He would often stream matches. He was highly skilled with unorthodox loadouts. He didn't seem to like Quick Draw very much. He made a very public exit with that update. He kind of went up in smoke and said, "I'm out," with a big argument, and disappeared for about 6 months. He recently came back, at least that's what it looks like, and then left again. So he's
Yep. He's like, he's like, all right, guys, I'm back. And then he's like, actually, attachments. And then he left.
Yeah.
And just to give a little bit more context on that too, because honestly, you know, as a fellow Blaston event coordinator, I respected him, but he just couldn't last in the game. He ran a great Discord, which was literally just a Blaston top 10, and he had pretty loose rules. But the thing is that if you put up a top 10 list, people want to be on that list, so people naturally made matches themselves. And he would cast those matches. He was really one of the very first people to cast matches. Outside of, honestly, me, and I was doing it in an even less structured format. So he attracted a lot of attention. It was a lot of fun. The Blasted server still exists. You should all confuse him by visiting. Do I still have it in? No, I don't have it in like my top Discord still, but I had it there for a while because it was just like one of the 7 deadly Blaston server. True. All right. You know what? Take one more. Take Jimbox.
Okay, I'll go ahead and take my pride and joy, Jimbox.
Taking a couple puffs on stream. Don't tell anyone. We only have 5 viewers. It's chill.
All right. So, Jimbox. So, you may have noticed when you walk into Ozo Lounge, there's posters of the various skins that you can acquire and use for your character on the walls. And the way it's meant to make the universe look lived in. These are like the fighters of the in Blaston universe or whatever. One of them is a kind of farmer looking guy with a fish named Jimbox. Now, I didn't know this when I first saw that. I thought, what is this skin? I want that skin. I don't know who Jim is. Who is that? So I started...
I don't know this Jim. Who the f*** is Jim?
Yeah, who's Jim? So I started petitioning the Blaston devs over and over. Hey, this guy, make that a skin. Who's Jim? Like, make him a skin. Because I have a beard. You know, I've got a bushy beard. I want representation. Get him in the game. Get him in there. And
damn it, you know, Pride Month is over, but we still need the representation, don't we?
That is
don't
right.
We?
But then what I found out was it's actually an Easter egg for one of Resolution Games' earlier games. It's a VR fishing simulator called Bait, and the main character was named Jim Bob, and they ported over Jim Bob, and the art of the game is he's a bearded guy with a sleeves cut off, a denim jacket, holding a fish. And then they made him a Blaston character and slapped them on the wall as a reference to their older.
They really should still make him a skin though at this point, because I thought the same thing when I saw the posters on the wall. I was like, oh hey, this is a well-known person in this Blaston lore.
Right. So when I first brought him up, and the people were saying that's bait. I was like, what do you mean that's bait? Bait? I'm not getting baited. This isn't bait.
You're getting debated.
Yeah, what are you talking about? And they're like, no, the game, Bait. Oh. Yeah, so.
I haven't played it, but I did see that it actually got an update recently. They actually do constantly update it.
So then I ended up making that change.org petition. They got 20 signatures. And if you Google Blaston, it comes down about 13 or so rows. If you search, you'll see add Jimbox to Blaston. So that's probably either a really bad sign on the state of the popularity of Blaston that my change.org petition is in the Google search, or
listen,
really good for Jim.
It's not bad SEO, it's underground. All right,
that's right.
That's how my events operate. I'm sure that Blaston, Defur knows what he's doing. All right. The Ozo friendly match incidents.
Yes.
As someone who runs events out of the Ozo Lounge, this is near and dear to my heart. There used to be a huge freaking error where every time you'd go to make a match, not literally every time, but it seemed like almost every time, you'd go to make a match from Ozo, that you would get a loading screen, and then if you waited at that loading screen long enough, you get the error message, an incident has occurred. Please, cheers. Gosh, I did that right in the. I'm gonna hate myself. I'm just gonna take that real quick again. And it was. Gosh, where did I leave off? Maybe I shouldn't have taken. But yeah, it happened on almost every single match, and it was very annoying because you couldn't quite tell whether or not you had bad internet connection or if you were gonna have the bug, and you had to re-go back to usually a private OZO room. They did eventually patch it. I have gotten it once since the patch. One time, and I did it on stream, and I caught it live. But outside of that, it's been completely patched.
Yeah, I haven't seen it at all. I'm surprised you had it once.
Yeah, it was one time on stream during Fight Nights. I probably play 14 matches every Fight Night, so I'm getting a good sample size, and it's only happened once. All right,
let's see what we got. Ozo Bear playable skin. In case you didn't know, there are secret skins in Blaston that you do not have access to. At least most of you. There are a select few that do. And the Ozo Bear is one of them. It is an equipable skin, complete with a completely working model. And who has it? I'm assuming the dev team and a select few members that can test. But yeah, you can wear the Ozo Bear. It's a thing.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Figure. All right.
Screenshots exist.
Screenshots exist. We'll get into that later on down on the iceberg. Anyways, I'm gonna leave Turb0 VAL incident for the very end too. Let's do profanity filter bypass. So this was also something that got patched out recently, but on the official Blaston Discord. Essentially, you could get around the anti-swearing bot, known as bot, also known as my mortal enemy. You could get around it by either using italics, as in putting the asterisk before and after your swear, or you could, of course, substitute out a character. To some degree, you can still substitute out a character, but actually now Discord has implemented built-in moderation tools. So usually that's pretty good at wiping out anything naughty that you might be saying in Blaston general. Yeah, that's it for that.
All right. Coin Goblin in the arcade machine. This one's quick. That was me.
That was me! I was the goblin the entire time.
I used to sit in the arcade machine many, many days and just wait for people to put coins in, and I would steal them and make a video. There's a video on my very YouTube channel.
Yeah, there's a video.
This. And this caused the devs to put a wall that would now appear when you climb out of bounds in Ozo that says return to play area or something. It says something. It says you're out of bounds. So that's my fault. Sorry.
That's my fault. Well, it's fine. I mean, I still go out of bounds and I have shares.
You can walk past it. It's only a few in-game feet, and then you can walk right past it.
All right. There's 2 VAL items on this list. Let's do them together.
All right.
Turb0 VAL incident. All right. This one requires just a bit of explaining, and I feel like I am the person to explain this because I was pretty heavily involved.
Go.
So here's how it all went down. Shoot, actually, you know what? I wonder if I can pull up the actual bracket that they used, because I should still have access to it. It's gonna make me authenticate my Discord or relog, and I just skip it. Sorry, give me 2 more seconds, folks. There we go. There we go. Here we are. So, what was this? In July and August of last year, there was a big Blaston tournament called the VAL Summer Games. It was hosted by the virtual Athletics League, great group of folks. They do a lot of VR events, and every year they do like essentially a Olympics of events. And they'll go ahead and they'll run a whole bunch of VR games, and they'll give out a lot of prizes. However, the way that they handled the Blast on bracket, which I believe was like upwards of 64 people, was they basically just said, yeah, okay, every week you are responsible for this match and the next match. Get them done. The issue with that is that, of course, people couldn't do the next match until the match previously had been completed and they knew who was moving forward. So right towards the end, there was a big rush, especially in the losers bracket, because some people didn't know that they were still in the bracket. That led to the losers bracket getting down to, and let's see if I can't do this. Yeah, well, it's not going to let me be very nice. But essentially what happened was that Woody played a match against Golden Knight, and then basically said, hey, I'm not going to be able to attend the finals, so sorry, I'm going to have to back out. His next opponent was to be Turb0. Now, Turb0 essentially said, originally what was going to happen was, even though they played the match, Golden Knight, Woody said that he would forfeit, and Golden Knight would be able to move on. Turb0 said, well, the match got completed, Woody moved forward, and then he withdrew because he's not going to be able to attend. By your guys' rules, like, you essentially have to give me the win. And I got into a conversation with them because originally I was like, Turb0, come on, man. Come on. Just go with the flow, man. Don't make a big fuss. But the more I thought about it, the more I was like, I don't feel right about... Oh, shoot. There's an ad in progress. Fantastic. No one's hearing that. Oh boy, do I love ads that are running on my channel right as I get to the juicy shit. All right, I'm gonna give it just a sec. That's the intermission of the story.
So while it's running the ads, so I have video. Do you want video?
What?
I'm running video of me this whole time.
Oh, yeah,
you want me to come on
sure.
Camera?
Sure, if you want to come on camera.
I certainly don't mind.
Hold on. Let me get the slowed cam. Or I'm sorry, the slowed cam, the Captain Fabulous cam. Where's your video?
All right, I just turned it on.
Oh, you're hearing it. No ads. Well, it says that there's an ad plan. I'm just really making everybody wait for it. All right, I'm gonna do your thing, but
I didn't get a chance to ask you before we jumped right in.
But yeah, the other thing too is that actually Josie did get bumped down to the losers bracket in this tournament. I might as well give it the last 10 seconds. I don't know how many people are seeing. Anyways, we are back now. Maybe we were back before. Who knows? Anyways, so essentially Turb0 said, hey, you got to give me the win going forward. And I met with the VAL folks, and they were kind of understandably, they just wanted everyone to go with the flow and go with what was planned. I suggested, hey, let's run the match, but let's have him move forward either way. And they all agreed, and that's what happened. And actually, yeah, and then the match afterwards was him versus Josie, and that match is actually where we get the triple juggle clip.
We've only ever theory. We've only ever.
Yeah, this one.
Especially if he can't get that ideal positioning, he's gonna juggle him. He's gonna juggle him. That's only. We've only ever seen that theory. We've only ever seen that in scholarly texts on Blaston. It's always been theoretical, but no one's ever actually managed to do it. Much less in a
Great
tournament.
showmanship. I love that.
Oh my God, Mike. Oh my God, Mike.
Yeah. So that's that. Yeah, Turbo's cool. Turbo's cool. I don't think at the end of the day that was really his fault. I think it was just a bad situation for everyone overall. And honestly, we ended up getting a really good match from it. So yeah. Josie definitely got a bit of payback, but that was it. All right. What is the VAL Winter Games prophecy? I'm gonna set up your camera while you. Yes.
VAL Winter Games prophecy. So this is just a quick one. I think like 2 months before the VAL Winter Games ever landed, I just made the prediction exactly who would win and who would get second place in the VAL Winter Games. And I was right. it was JJ gets first place, Woody gets second place. And that's exactly what happened. Like that was it. That it was just because that was my at the time too, because that was during I think it was during Arctic Blast. So that was my commentary on the current meta at the time. I was like, hey, because the meta's in the place it is right now, I bet I can tell you with absolute certainty exactly who's gonna win. So here we go.
True. Okay, cool. Yeah. Gosh, I don't know why I think that 24, like I remember 24 getting second place in that, but I think I'm just imagining a later tournament probably at this point. All right. Oh, only 3 concurrent players on Steam. For whatever reason, Steam is really bad at telling how many people are on Blaston at any given time. So if you go ahead and you look up how many concurrent players there are in Steam, you'll only ever see really a maximum of 3 or 4. There, of course, you know, Blaston is primarily a quest game. It's primarily for the quest platform. But still, that's like a weirdly low number to have. So yeah, so still. All right. That was a quick one.
All right, got another quick one. Lena is intentionally punchable. Everyone loves to punch Lena. Lena, not Taka. You know, when you walk out in the alleyway and the robot that always falls asleep when you get close to her. Yeah, I'm sure everyone has this shared experience of throwing hands at Lena. So,
did you know that she has slightly altered audio if you move past her really fast?
Really? I did not know that.
Yep. So I at first I thought I was going crazy, but then I actually watched back my stream and I was like, yeah. If you like, she goes from like, my name's Lena, not Talker, move along. She goes, my name's Lena, not Talker. So she just has like a weird pause in that last part of her voice. And yeah, I've only noticed it when I'm moving past her really fast. So either it's a weird audio glitch or she has slightly altered audio to express the fact that you're just basically blowing her completely the f*** off.
Huh. That's funny.
Alpha Cupcake never banned anyone. Alpha Cupcake's a mod. We'll talk about Alpha Cupcake. Oh geez, down here. I'll handle these. I'll be civil. Alpha Cupcake is a moderator on the official Blaston server. It seems like all of the moderators have fairly limited capability in what they can do. They're just kind of, you know, there to make sure that everyone's staying okay and family friendly and calling the big guns if necessary. I don't know if there's actual proof, like there was a is there a fight night happening, or fight nights are on hold for a little bit, but that's not part of this. I don't know if there was a specific incident that was like, oh, Alpha banned this person, and he's like, I can't. But you know, they generally don't really interact unless something's really, really getting bad. Even then, they'll usually alert someone, you know, defer a resolution games. I think that's all I have to say about that one.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got. We've got Hell Knight LARP. Turbo was Hell Knight.
Is it confirmed?
Yes, that is confirmed. He posted as such.
There you go. Easy. All right. I think that might be
that's a lot
token
of
duplication glitch. I don't know anything about this one.
Oh, the token duplication glitch. That's just like the coin goblin one. That's also
okay. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
so there's a joke that you walk up to a kid. You can do this with any kid in OZO. I trust me, this works, and the cops cannot stop you.
The cops can't stop. Listen, guys. Anything we tell you today, the cops can't stop.
You walk up to any kid in Ozo, and this will work anytime. It still works to this day. And you tell them, "Hey, do you want to do the coin duplication glitch?" And they'll always say, "Yes, yeah, of course." And so here's what you do. So you say, "Okay, come over to the boundary, and step outside. If you take a coin off your wrist, and you drop it out into the void, so you need to make sure you're dropping it somewhere where it falls, and you'll get 2 of them in back of your inventory. It's crazy. And they'll always drop it, and it just falls into nothing, and they'll go, "Where's my coin?" It's just every time. It just never fails. I
Incredible. 100%. And just as a reminder to everybody, coins serve no practical purpose in this game whatsoever. So stealing from children is not only not wrong, it's actually advised. You shouldn't give them money. The arcade games aren't too good, so like you're actually improving their Blaston experience if you think about it. All right. I like never ask people for tokens when I play them in Ozo. I'm too busy like worried about the match. That's a lot of damage. Is this a reference to me, or am I just being narcissistic?
That is a reference to you. That is your
cool.
catchphrase that you'll say sometimes.
Sometimes I say that's a lot of damage. Of course, my idol, the guy who does the Flex Seal commercials.
Yes.
No, he isn't Billy May. Billy May is passed, sadly.
Yeah. He 13
minutes. But yeah, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. All right.
Both sides of the dart button reset work. So if you step out of bounds, you press on the other side, you can reset it. Sometimes the hilarious results, people don't know you're back there.
Intended functionality right there. I think that's the last one.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right. There you go. All right. Honorable mentions time?
Yeah, go for it.
I just realized I really can't show my entire notion on screen, but that's just not a good idea overall. Y'all don't need to see my plans. Y'all don't need to see my plans. All right. Okay, again, some of these aren't going to actually tie to anything. There's a reason they aren't on the chart anymore. Defur Hostage Crisis. Buckler shield concept. There is concept art of a much different shield than the one shown in the game. It looks closer to a small buckler shield. It looks really cool. Go look at all of the Blaston like development concept art because it's all really, really cool, and the artist who did it is awesome. And you're cool as heck.
I have no idea what Defur Hostage Crisis.
Yeah, no, me neither, brother. Me neither.
I have no idea what
clapping sound file change.
Yes. Okay. So remember when you used to be able to
yes,
clap?
Yes.
And it was the Nova collision. It was the Nova collision sound. It was that blooping.
Yes, and the people who were playing could hear it in game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm so sad that they removed that. I really, I know I've posted it a million.
Hold on. So I'm having a Mandela effect. I'm misremembering. Bad memory. So it used to be the Nova clap sound, and then it got changed to an actual thud, and then it got removed.
And the reason it got removed is because you actually don't have any hands while you're in Ozo now, or when you're spectating a match from Ozo. Mm-hmm. My best guess as to why that is because it had to do something with the implementation of the spectator client. I think the spectator client, something about that necessitated that there weren't any players who were actually in the arena with it. I want to be able to like talk to people while I'm spectating matches, to be perfectly honest with you.
Huh. I never thought about that. That's interesting.
Yeah. Blaston skin ethnicities. There was okay, so there was a thread in lore that was talking about the ethnicities of certain avatars in game. It wasn't like a weird thing. It was like, Axe is an Australian.
I remember this.
Stuff like that.
Okay.
Here's a good one. Tether snaps on purpose.
Yeah.
So essentially, during one of the updates, it may have been the campaign update actually. they changed the damage that you take when you break the tether, otherwise known as the Quicksilver, from 10 to 5. And what a lot of people in the community took this as is, oh, they're doing this to compensate for the fact that it breaks half the time. And it's already bad that you have to wait another 5 seconds for the weapon to come off of cooldown. But, you know, it breaks. I guess that now they don't have to worry about that anymore because no one's going to use Quicksilver either way. But who knows? Maybe when it gets reworked, we'll see something there again. Juggle meta. Juggling is common now. This isn't a big thing. Spark developer, that was me. I thought initially that someone who worked on Spark worked on Blaston. It's just not true. Competitive cup stacking. You can stack the cups in OZO. Some people make like big pyramids of them. That's it. That's all the specialty mentions that I have. Let's go into the deeper waters. I'm apparently creative in this notion.
We're heading into the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
So we're things start to get weird. All right.
Iron Lights brigading. I can take that one.
Okay.
Over time, the Iron Light server has slowly integrated with the Blaston server through various events. One of which was just a bunch of Iron Lights people coming to Blaston and essentially just taking over the Discord for like a week straight. There were a couple people who actually stuck around for a little bit. Shout out to Toast. No. I'm sorry, not Toast. Toast actually plays another game. Who am I thinking of? Roth the Snowball. And a couple other players. It's ironic because it's kind of happening again now that the attachment update has come out. That's actually attracted a lot of Iron players, especially because that game actually has a sequel that's coming out. But yeah.
All right. I didn't know that it had a sequel. Interesting.
The what?
I didn't.
So Iron Lights 2 is going to still have the PvP component, but is actually going to be more like an actual roguelike dungeon crawler.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting, but if you look at the campaign of that game, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it does. All right, let's see here. Let me hit this one on the head. Baby Spine never actually came back. You know what's really funny is this is such an evergreen pose because this is one of the first entries on the iceberg and it has stayed alive time and time again. So Baby Spine is one of my favorite members in the entire Blaston community. I love Baby Spine. He has said a questionable thing and it drew ire, and he acknowledges as soon as he said that. I don't agree that he should have said it. But it caused him to, because he was in an argument with BearBlast, caused him to get heated, and he left Blaston for a little while to try to clear his head up. And then he came back, but I haven't seen him around. But this is kind of a pattern because this happens. You know, he'll come back and then never come back and then come back and never come back. So then here we have on the iceberg, he never actually left, or he never actually came back. You know, he's gone. So
yeah,
that's the idea behind that one.
Yep, he did never come back. Baby Spine, the original Baby Spine, come back. We miss you.
Yeah.
He may have physically come back, but not in spirit.
Yeah.
All right, I could do a couple of these. Let's do Yelkel is actually nice. So Yelkel is a member of the community who is known for not being so nice when he is in queue. If you beat him thoroughly, he will sometimes throw a bit of a temper tantrum. He will sometimes, say that weapons are unfair and, do stuff like that.
He makes gestures.
Yeah, exactly. Hedonist gestures, he's gonna come kill you and your family, all the whole works. I actually talked with him personally via DMs when he was asking me about my events. He actually, when you get him offline, he is a fairly nice standard person. I wouldn't say standard. I won't dox them any more than I already have because they do some far out shit. But yeah, they aren't a horrible person outside the game. Inside the game, they're kind of toxic, but aren't we all? Aren't we all? Aren't we all just a little bit toxic? Don't you feel it when you go into queue?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit.
I'm gonna get another drink because oh my goodness, my throat is already sore from all this voice work.
I haven't taken one sip of water this whole time.
Damn, take it, hydrate or dehydrate.
I know.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm a wild man. When you have a voice as deep as mine, you just have to full send. All right. Let me go ahead and let me hit one while you're taking your drink. Let's see. JJ unironically lost to Shifterhead once. So, as we know, JJ currently, by most estimations, is the undisputed champion of Blaston and is widely considered to be its best player. Once he lost to Shifterhead, kind of a decent but somewhat, I don't want to say insignificant because that's kind of demeaning, but he's not on JJ's level. JJ admits that he lost to Shifterhead in Q once, so we're going to bring that up in the iceberg just to throw some salt, because you know when the champ gets knocked out by a random, it's
all right. I'm back.
You know, it matters.
All right, I'm so sorry. Whatever you just said, I completely messed.
Well, I was knocking out. JJ unironically lost to Shifterhead while you were out.
Oh.
So
dang it, that was the one I wanted to know about. I'll have to watch back the video.
He lost to Shifterhead in Q.
Dang.
It's
GG's Shifterhead.
Yeah.
If we get 5 more viewers, I'll shotgun this lukewarm LaCroix. Just giving everyone an incentive. All right. Hurricane Cheese Balls. This was a term that originated from Slowed, I believe. Mm-hmm. It describes that a lot of the projectiles in Blaston look like cheese balls. In case you are from Europe, where apparently they don't have cheese balls, I might be wrong on that one, but that is what I heard, is that it's an American food. Mm-hmm. Cheese balls are exactly what they sound like. They're puffs of corn that are coated in cheese powder. That's all I have to say about that one. They look like cheese balls. Look into your heart, you know it to be true.
All right. Baby Spine Roblox enjoyer. So sometimes, if you watch Baby Spine's activity in Discord, you'll see he's playing Roblox. And remember, Baby Spine is like 30 something.
I mean, listen, man, it's on the stock market, all right? That makes it adult.
So
if you really think about it. Oh, there you are. There's your fucking camera. Jesus.
To be fair, he says it's his kid. He has kids. But I think it's funny to give him a hard time because I'm imagining, this grown man going in.
There you go. Oh, you're already on camera. Okay, that's all I had to do.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
I was good to go. I was just waiting.
Jeez, you could have told me something. Jeez. All right, there we go. Sweet. We got the face cam. Damn. There you go.
Nice.
All right. What is the next one? No tie games. Yeah, in Blaston there are no tied games. You can try timing out a match and it will just give a random person the winner or the win. My theory is that it is the last person to take damage is the loser. So the last person to deal damage wins the match. And as far as, matches that are completely tied from the very beginning, it might favor one side or the other. I haven't really looked into it, but you will not get a tie game in Blaston ever.
I think the game gives priority to color, or does
yeah, the two different sides, because when you load into a room, one person loads in first and the other person joins.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
All right, I'll go ahead and hit Palmer Events Center. So this is a tiny bit of future Robo President prophecy. So the Palmer Events Center is in Austin, Texas, along the there's the Colorado River that runs through Austin, Texas, and it just so happens to be in very close proximity to the Resolution headquarters in Austin, Texas. So it is the widely accepted place that most of us believe will be the site of the first ever IRL Blaston tournament, whenever that happens. That seems to be the place. It's the closest place to the Blaston headquarters. I don't know. I don't see any other place that it's got to be the Palmer Event Center. If it's not the Palmer Event Center,
and
I'm gonna go.
Another thing is that the CEO of Resolution Games is called something Palmer, right?
Is he really? No
yeah,
way.
yeah. Oh yeah. Here, hold on. Let me. Because I follow him on Twitter. I want to say his name's Tommy Palm.
That's right. Yeah, he's Tommy Palm, but it's not Palmer.
I mean, do you think his last name is really Palm? Do you really think, or is that just what they want you to believe?
That's why Weso made his Smurf Tommy Palm.
That's what they want you to believe.
Or no.
All right, there we are.
Or was that Bananas who did Tommy Palm for Blaston? I think that was Bananas who did that. Never mind. And anyways. I don't know.
All right. Next up. Dang, I wish we had that. You should have told. Dang it! Look, it looks so good. That's why I'm mad. All right, this is the only part that people are actually gonna watch of the video, so no worry.
Yeah, indeed.
All right. We did that one. We did that one. This one I'm just gonna touch on real quick. Best players are teenagers. Blaston attracts a wide variety of people. I am in my mid-20s. There are people on the older end of the spectrum, and there are a lot of people on the younger end of the spectrum. There are a lot of people on the younger end of the spectrum, like a lot of people on the younger end of the spectrum. So that's why this one is up on here. Nova Meta, how could I miss it? This is Tether meta on another level. All right. Nova meta is essentially it's interesting because I see a lot of people in this update complain about Nova, but I also don't necessarily see a lot of people running Nova. It's almost like even considering Nova meta is considered filthy. Nova's a big projectile. It sucks up a lot of damage. And in the meta today, that's focused mostly on just completely swarming your opponent's field with projectiles. It isn't always the best because it's good with bullets that are coming in one direction, not bullets that are coming from multiple directions. But Health Nova is a very, very, very strong option, arguably the best option. And Bounce Nova just is very persistent and essentially forces your opponent to really think about what Novas they're letting through and watching behind them because it's a very slow moving projectile. That's Nova meta. Nova meta coming to a Blaston near you.
All right, let me see what we got. We've got Weso made mortal. So
Weso retirement.
Yes. So Weso used to be part of the mod team, the Blaston mod team. And after the constant accostement of the Blaston community, because we like to bust each other's balls, that's what we do. We do that all day, and we don't really do this as a purpose.
It's not bad spirit. No.
Yeah, it's what we do. Because when you have a 1v1 dodgeball game, essentially bullet hell, then people are going to be busting each other's balls. Eventually, Weso didn't want to deal with he's got his own life. He didn't want to deal with it anymore. So he asked to be demoted back to the Smelly rank that Oolong and I inhabit, which is non-mod, and he was cast out from the heavens and sent down. So
dang.
He's now among
truly the fallen angel of Blaston. Am I right, fellas? Truly the Lucifer of Blaston. I'm gonna save this one for you. I don't know how much you can even say about this because I learned about this very. Let's go with Vandal is actually good. So Vandal is a weapon that does 0 damage. I have been quoted as saying any weapon that deals 0 damage is not a weapon that's worth having on a build. And I do stand by that. However, there are some situations where you need a lot of collision. And although Vandal does not do damage, it does do a lot of collision with very fast moving projectiles. So it's good at taking out nades. It does do a blind effect. Sure, go ahead, go nuts. It's the old blind effect, so it's going to be very localized. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. Yeah.
We've got Daddy Leaks, Leaker Daddy.
There you go.
Now, let me okay. I'm just going to tie Blaston. Let me actually go to Blaston Dev Playtester Illuminati, and I'm going to touch on this topic very carefully because I can't say a ton about this. I can't. But all I can say is that there's a shadowy group of players. I am not one of them. And I don't know the specifics of who they are, but they do have access to development tools, and they help facilitate resolutions, builds of the game, and help them figure out what works and what doesn't. They get sent dev builds, things like that. Now, what I used to, those of you that don't know, there was somebody that was called Leaker Daddy, and I'm sure they're probably still around. They would show up. They kind of rose to infamy after predicting the swarm with uncanny accuracy. So they said, hey, the next weapon in Blaston is going to be a charge weapon that scatters bullets. It's got 3 stages. And everyone went, yeah, dude, shut up. Get out of my face. And then all of a sudden, the swarm comes out, and it's exactly what Leaker Daddy predicted. Now, Leaker Daddy's predictions since haven't been on the money. But, and so I used to think, okay, he's full of crap. He got one thing right. I don't know how he got that, but he got it. I see we're rolling on ad break.
Nice.
Right in the middle of my...
It was in the middle of the juicy bit. I didn't know. I mean, I didn't really connect the 2 dots there in the maybe 24 hours of knowing this information. But yeah, and that's plausible for sure.
But what I'll get into.
Don't worry, I remember what moment you were on. What moment you were on. You can just start off by saying, I don't know, like so my theory is Dude, once you start streaming with a face cam, I'm out of business. I don't know what to say. Yours looks a million times better than mine.
Well, I'm actually using my that's my Sony A6400 that I use for my IRL videos. But the problem is I can't shoot my IRL videos because I can't go anywhere because gas is too expensive. So
yeah, I need to not have a $50 webcam. That'll be great. Hopefully, I can get one of those pretty soon. But it does the job. It just has 0 white balance. All right.
Oh.
As we were saying about this man with mystery information about the Swarm, which is the stupidest name of a weapon ever.
Right. So Leaker Daddy was not spot on with his future predictions, but he was spot on with Swarm. So my initial reaction was, he's full of crap. I don't want to pay attention to him. And I never really thought about it till then, because how would somebody get insider information on Blaston? Didn't really make a ton of sense until I had found out about this dev playtester Illuminati. It makes a ton of sense. He has to be one of them, or he was one of them.
One of them got kicked out.
I mean, he either was one of them and then went rogue, or something. It's the only thing that makes sense. Or maybe somebody who was on the insider track let information slip to the person who became Leaker Daddy, and then they let their lips slip. So I don't know, but it would make more sense that they were on the team and then they got kicked off after after they were like, hey, who dropped the ball on Swarm?
Yeah, you know. Yeah, hit him right on the head. I mean, I wonder. like my immediate instinct was like, oh, of course they knew who spilled the beans. It's like they have to have ways of like tell, but just going and making a Discord account and saying, hey, the next weapon's going to be this. And then also trash talking Woody. He trash talked Woody a lot. And I don't know if you'd really be able to just by those two things deduce who it was. So who knows? Maybe they still are on this. They're just playtesters, by the way. I mean, you put Illuminati on the end, but at the end of the day, they are just playtesters. But hey, it sounds way cooler when you say Illuminati too. Yeah. Oh shoot. All right.
The clone incidents.
Clone incidents.
Do you want me to touch that one, or do you got
it? Do it.
Okay. So there was a time, this was actually around the same time as the Leaker Daddy thing. There's a bunch of like Smurf Blaston accounts that just kept being made of all kinds of things. Like people were making Smurfs of like Weso, people were making Smurfs of like I think just crazy amount, like Smurf after Smurf, like Harley, like those were all like, I'm 90% positive those weren't actual players.
So there actually is one of those of me that Weso occasionally calls out in the Blaston General. He's just like, GG's Oolong, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm not anywhere near my headset. And so apparently someone has my name. I didn't know that was still a thing.
Yeah, they mostly died out, but there might be some of those accounts still rolling around.
Spooky.
Yeah.
Spooky.
All right, I'll pass the ball over to you.
Yeah, Ozo back door. There used to be a door right behind you in the main menu. Turning around when you're explaining something on a mic, that's always a good idea. Anyways, there used to be a door that you could turn around to in the main menu that would bring you immediately to the Ozo room elevator, rather than having to go down this big long hallway. When they added the second floor of the Ozo and thus actually added the elevator, they ended up boarding up the door in game, saying like work in progress, and now there just is no back door. So resolution, please bring the back door back. You will save me probably hours over my lifetime.
All right, Unmod Alpha campaign. This was started by 24. 24 Alpha, I think Hungry Cat. They were all like a little merry band of misfits. And then Alpha became mod, and then 24 started a what I see in my adult brain as a joke. Maybe he doesn't see it that way, but he started giving Alpha a hard time and saying that he wanted to unmod him immediately, and then started to post it repeatedly over and over and over. So that is that.
The other thing that I will say, this was partially when I was running an event called the Boss Rush League, where I uploaded the matches every week with everyone's thumbnails taken from Discord. And actually, 24's image was literally just Alpha's avatar and then crossed out. So I actually did, like, to some degree ask him, like, hey man, could you change your avatar so I could use something in these videos that doesn't directly, like, harass a member of the moderator team? I believe they've pretty much settled it right now. The other thing is, again, there are some moderators who are of different ages, and some people are not mature when they are told things from someone who's younger than them. So that also kind of led to that movement becoming a thing. Yeah, Alpha. Shout out to Alpha. I like Alpha, and I kind of feel bad that this is the second time he's on this list.
Yeah, I personally like. I know. I like. It's hard because as I like giving.
We're documenting.
Yeah, I kind of. I come from a background where like you kind of like bust the like, I don't know, like you give younger guys a hard time. Because I got a hard
24
time.
says it's not over. I've just been silenced. Ooh. The saga continues.
but no, I don't. I like Alpha too. He's just a little kid trying to make his way. So I don't have a problem with him. He wanted me to be his dad, which was kind of weird. But
damn boy, the way you're looking right now, I want you to be my daddy too, please. Hello. That white balance, your camera looking good.
Oolong.
Oolong. Defur boots I know nothing about. What is this one about?
I think that was a joke in the Discord when, what was it? It was either Sloyd or Spooky Boy who said boots with Defur. And
Yep.
I thought it was really funny, so I just slapped it on there.
Perfect. All right. And is that all of them? I think. Sloyd plays Fortnite.
He plays Fortnite.
He plays Fortnite. That is true. Yeah, I think that's everything. Okay. All right. We are at the bottom of the list. The
deepest,
depths.
Darkest.
Let me see. Oh, actually, there was some special mentions here. Some of them that are pretty good. Novanade nerf and blasted. We kind of already went over this, but specifically part of the reason that blasted left during the update was because all of the other nades had their health increased from 15 to 25, making them better at drop blocking, except for the Nova nade, which all of a sudden was like this very weak thing. Everyone just assumed that it was a glitch, but they never actually fixed it. So Blasted got pretty salty about it, and that was part of the reason he left. Ho 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 DARPA experiment. Ho ho ho. Again, you're leaving out the best shit on this list.
Did my camera die on stream? Am I frozen in time?
Ooh, maybe. This is why it's always good to check me. Test 1 2. Okay, you're good. Move your head. We'll see if you're alive. No, you're dead. Hold on. Let's see. That's not it.
There we go. Wait, I think I'm moving. Yeah. Okay, I'm moving now. I was like,
there we go. Perfect.
Frozen like this. I was doing this pose.
I think it's because I checked normal Discord and it overrode the window. All right. So Ho 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 is a player who likes to act as if he's a bot, both in game and on the Discord, and he frequently uses the Santa emoji as his calling card. Weird decision, Oolong, calling that a calling card. It's just kind of his moniker. Is using the Santa emoji. Star Wars video. I think at this point there's actually been more than one Star Wars video. But yeah, after ads were confirmed to not be implemented in the game, Robo President made a video parodying the end of Star Wars Episode 6 with several well-known Blaston personalities. Vile Kyle dance vid. But yeah, I actually don't have anything on this one. I wrote it down and I wrote a couple bullet points basically saying to research it, and I don't have anything else.
There exists a video, an IRL video of Vile Kyle. I think he's playing Blaston, but he looks like he's dancing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Dancing while playing Blaston. All right. So now we are truly to the deepest, darkest depths. Do you want to take the first crack at this? Because there's some of this that we can't really talk about. I mean, both because it might not be real and also because of things.
I'm going to save... so there's one on here that I'm going to save for very last, and that's Bobbina Biggun. And because Bobbina Biggun ties directly into Cheeseburger is BearBlast. Now, let me say this. Bobbina Biggun is not a dox because Bobbina Biggun is not a real person. So that will...
What the f***?
Yeah, that's about to get real crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
all right.
That's about to get whoo boy. Anyway.
Okay. I'll go first. Let's go with the Shield nerf conspiracy. The Shield nerf conspiracy. So we've talked about it just a little bit in this video, but let me reiterate that there was a time in Blaston during the campaign update where one of the best strategies was taking double shields and just turtling. And during the first big championship of the game, that strategy was very heavily used, and it was not fun for everyone, at least from a viewer perspective. Shields were nerfed during the next update, and the theory goes is that the reason that they nerfed the shields was to prevent that sort of turtling play and force the players to, you know, actually get out there and shoot their opponent, thus making a game that was more fun to watch. You know, they've recently rolled back the nerf on the Cortex shield. Cortex shield probably still isn't where it needs to be. But, you know, with stuff like the stuff like Health Nova, your options are slowly getting better either way. So yeah. I don't know. What do you think, Robo President? Do you think that that was their motivation, or do you think that they just fucked up on the balance?
Yeah, I think. Oh, yeah.
My personal theory is that they did see the tournament being one of the big pieces of information that you can look at for Blaston gameplay, and said, wow, a lot of these players are using the same strategy. Maybe we should do something to curtail them.
Yeah.
Not necessarily to get views.
But you could, I mean, the same strategy still works, though, even if you're using high defense, even if you're using Tank Nova, even if you're using high trapping, it still, ellipsing still goes around because there's no ellipse defense, like specific, other than just having good dodging. So I don't know. I think that they were trying to go in that direction, but I don't think they committed in some areas, like full force, and then like I don't know. So there's like steps in the right direction, and then kind of how I talked about in my videos, how you had some like Tank Nova having too many attributes on defense and trapping. So
yeah,
it's discussion for another time.
Yeah, there was also some other things that happened like more recently too to tweak shields. Specifically, Aegis shield got reduced in size, and Cortex shield got increased in size. That was not an original property of those two weapons. So yeah, but that's the shield nerf conspiracy.
Yeah, so especially too because mainly with that particular line, I'm referring to the idea that in Crackdown there was like a growing chorus of people saying nerf, nerf, nerf. You know, so that was kind of my my way to say like it's a conspiracy. It wasn't a conspiracy, but
it was for me. It was a bit of a conspiracy, only because again, it was the major thing that was used in the last tournament, and then all of a sudden it was not used at all. So
how does my face cam keep dying with me?
Because you know what, I keep looking for things on Discord that I'm trying to prepare my notes, and it keeps freezing. Sorry.
Like,
my entire stream bootleg. Listen, you know this. You agreed to this to some degree. You came in with your professional camera, and I respect that, but this ain't a professional stream. All right, but it's fixed now. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. The Dr. Oolong disclaimer at this point.
All right. So let's see what we got. I'll go ahead and do... Man, some of these are out there. Let's do... Tarek's Persona.
Okay.
So this is my attempt to take shots at the Tarek's skin. So I've often found... If you use Tarek's, I'm sorry, but not really. So Tarek's is the skin that has the horns, right, coming out of it, like looks like a bull. That I think because Tarek's, tar or something in Latin is Latin for bull or something. They're taking that prefix and throwing it in there, X, whatever. So I just, for whatever reason, started equating them to furries, and it stuck. And so now people just call them furries.
Excellent. Given there are a lot of people in virtual reality who are furries. Mm-hmm. That's because of VR chat, but it still affects all of us, you know? All right. I mean, you'll definitely be able to speak more to this one, but as an outside observer, I did know about this pretty thoroughly. Turbo hired IRA to plant bomb in Robo President's skull. This was right after it was the VAL Summer Games, right? And you started getting these horrible migraines anytime that you would play virtual reality, and you would leave.
So the day after my game with Turb0 on the VAL Summer Games, so that was a Friday. The day after, on that Saturday, during a game with Baby Spine, just a Q game, I got hit with the worst headache I've ever felt my entire life. I mean, just my entire 27 years at the time, my entire 27 years of existence, I'd never felt anything like it. Felt like my head was in a hydraulic press. It was probably a 7 out of 10, just absolute agony. And then anytime I would get my heart rate up for about a month, anytime I would try to get my heart rate up for any, not just VR, but anytime I would work myself up, it would happen. But my blood pressure was fine. The doctors didn't really seem to have a great handle on it. Eventually, a neurologist recommended me some medication that I've been on since, and I've been free of the headaches for almost about 8 months now, almost a year. Actually, almost a year. Yeah, it's gonna be a while.
Hey yo.
And I just have to take 50 milligrams of this stuff that has absolutely no side effects. So the joke here was it was the day after the tournament. So literally, like, I mean, it could have been the day of. Who knows? Maybe he hired the IRA to blow me up. Who knows? I don't know.
He did something. There was some sort of oh god, what are they called in SCP? Cognito hazards.
Yeah.
Things you look at and then they just kill your brain. That's exactly what he planted. All right. Cruxer died. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Cruxer. You had a good run. Yeah. You had a good run. But you know, everyone's career comes to an end, and you had the longest and most illustrious of all of ours. No, Cruxer is a reoccurring member of the Blaston community. He originally had a Discord called V-League, and then very briefly he stole Fightnights for a week, and I showed up because I did not like that at all. And later on, he actually had me, without getting into too much, because definitely not the place for this, he had some personal stuff come up. He wasn't able to cast the finals. And he said, hey, Oolong, can you step in and cast the finals? And I said, sure thing. And that was the very first time I've killed a Discord. Because that's what I do, is I go and I take over events, and then they're just my events, and they become part of my amalgamation of different events that I have. I need to stop doing it, to be quite honest with you, because it's a lot of work. But essentially, at that point, he kind of left the Blaston community for a little bit. He's tried to come back a couple times. He's claimed that he's going to do more events. He hasn't. It takes a lot of time to actually commit to like planning Blaston events and executing on them. So, you know, no regrets. But rest in peace, Cruxer. Rest in peace, Cruxer. But yeah.
Blaston Jeep update. That comes from a weird attempt during when I had that headache.
Yeah, I have a picture.
Yeah, I couldn't play Blaston, so I sat there and I would draw because I was trying to contribute to the community. This was my really sad attempt to get any kind of Jeep, because I like Jeeps. Jeeps are cool. I was trying to, you know, let's get it to happen, and you know, yeah, Defur was not impressed with this suggestion. So, yeah.
Where's the Jeep update, Blaston? Where's the Jeep update?
Heritage was not impressed either, for that matter.
Hey, wait, isn't he into cars? I mean, maybe he's against Jeeps because he's into cars, but come on, man. Everyone loves a Jeep. It's like, I don't know. It's like driving a Linux computer. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Everything's modifiable. You could take off the roof if you really wanted to, but you're not going to, because you're just looking to get from point A to point B.
Yeah.
It's just always that hidden temptation to, you know, delete your entire engine and just be done with it all.
Yeah, and depending on how new it is, it might break more.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. You got to wear it in a little bit. Install some updates. Patch out some things. Quite literally. All right. I guess in a similar thing, Weso vehicular genocide. Some of these are just going to be things that were mentioned once in the server. Weso is very vocal about his love for Indiana. which he lives in. And at some point, someone would made the joke that like if he hit somebody with his plane, because he also is a training pilot, that no one would ever know because he lives in the middle of nowhere. And that's how I'm pretty sure how this one got on the list.
Yeah. Pretty spot on. That, and he also talks about, like flying his plane and crashing it and, exploding.
Right, exactly. Yeah, he kind of is notorious for vehicular, not accidents. Hopefully he doesn't get.
But, yeah, hopefully not.
Hopefully. Knock on wood.
Let's see. Let's go for Hungry Cat's profile picture. We don't talk about that. Don't look at it. It's cursed.
Don't look at it for too long because it will burn out your corneas.
It's cursed, and certainly don't Google what it is. And don't ask him what it is. Don't ever. Yeah, just don't ever. No, under any circumstances.
It's like that one scene from Indiana Jones. Your face will melt. Woody body double. I'm pretty sure this actually was a meme that you made too. Woody had COVID and he was out of the game for a little bit, but then he all of a sudden came back. Let me see. Yeah, and he participated in some sort of tournament. I didn't list the actual tournament here. But yeah, he all of a sudden came back and participated, even though he just got off from having COVID. And so the joke was that it was actually a body double that was playing for him. And then I'm gonna take another one just because we're quick here. Well-adjusted Kai. So Crazy Kai is another reoccurring member of the Blaston communities. He also shows up on some of my streams, so maybe he's here. But he's actually, despite being pretty noticeably on the younger side, he actually behaves surprisingly like an adult in a well-respected manner, and he's overall a very well-respected person in the Blaston community. So good on you, Crazy Kai. You're one of the people that makes this community a better place.
Let's do Tommy Wall incident. So Tommy was he doesn't play very much anymore, but he's a member of the Blaston community who ran into a wall, and it put him out of commission for a while. And he had video of it. There's in-game footage of him running. He doesn't have the IRL footage, but you can watch his avatar.
He has the replay. Here, I actually have the video. See, I came prepared.
Nice. Blaston wall crash. It's like decapitated.
Just completely collapses.
Just melts. Yeah, put a hole in the drywall. Yeah, it was all bad.
Yeah. Hey, running head first with a thing strapped to your head, that's gotta hurt.
All right, let's see. Number one. Oh, go ahead. No, this one's you.
No, yeah, this one. You get like 2 if you want.
Okay, I'll do number one. Player is actually a little girl. This is a joke about the fact that Jay Josie is actually named. His account is named after his little sister. So we joke that the best Blaston player in the entire world could potentially be a little girl.
Yeah,
and we're all getting whooped. Me, a nearly 30-year-old man, is getting destroyed by some small child.
Yeah, specifically, originally, Josie actually got his headset for his sister. And so that was the first account that logged on to Blaston, was actually his sister playing the game. His sister actually doesn't like the game. And so because of that, he decided to give it a try. And now he has won several major tournaments. So, yeah. Funny how those things go. 10 points if you... Actually, he does have his standard default username as his username on Discord. So if you actually look at his Discord account, you can see what his actual name would be if it weren't for that. All right, you want to take another one?
Yeah, let's do Hidden Quick Draw Skinwalker. I made that up. If you guys don't know so a lot of times in icebergs, some of them of the conspiracies in icebergs are completely made up. A Skinwalker is a Native American legend about a shape-shifting shaman who usually did a deal with the devil or some kind of evil entity. So, seeing as this was a Western-themed update, I thought, why not throw a Legend of the Skinwalker in there and freak some people out? I'm sure, appropriate a poor culture's myth, which they actually do take very seriously if you go through the Western states. Do not talk about Skinwalkers in reservations in Arizona, New Mexico, Utah. They don't actually appreciate that.
Wait, I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
you're talking about. Is that because what do they call it? Crypto something? Anyways, but isn't it something where you're supposed to leave like a pile of corn or something because they have this thing where they have to count everything when they walk past it?
I'm sure there might be something of that nature, but they take it seriously. There's actually one time I was in New Mexico, and I was 16, and some other 16-year-olds told me that they claimed that they saw one, and they swore up and down, and I don't know. They take it seriously.
Mm-hmm. Damn. Crazy. All right. You want to take one more?
Yeah. Let's see, before I get to the big one, because the big one, that's going to take some... let's do Alpha Gang Stalked.
Okay.
This is my jab at him again. Sorry, Alpha, to jab at you another time. He posted in the Discord recently that somebody looked at him the wrong way, and it freaked him out. Those of you that don't know what gang stalking is, it's actually a really troubling condition that people go through, that they think they're being targeted by like the government or mysterious entities. It's a completely made up thing. Nobody's actually getting gang stalked. If you think you're getting gang stalked, you need to go see. You need professional help, like right away. But
it's psychosis. Yeah. It's psychosis.
But we were just giving him a hard time because he was like, "Why are people looking at me?" I don't know, man.
Dang.
You're targeted, dude. CIA. You're getting gang stalked.
It's the fucking CIA. It's the OZO agents, bro. Get the out of there.
Hurtage, you came at just the right time, my friend.
Yeah, you did, really. All right, I'll take this one. Ho 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 is a nudist salsa dancer. Through backwater channels and secret deals, I will not dox him. This is not the purpose of this list, is to dox anybody. But Ho 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 actually does have a YouTube channel where he posts actually pretty semi-regularly dancing video. Specifically salsa dancing. I do not know too much about the nudist part, and again, I don't want to dox anybody too hard. What I will say is that, and I'm going to say this as nicely as I can, he's not maidenless, folks. He's not maiden. He's living large, and that's the life of a dancer for you right there. Yeah, he is he's pulling. Let's just leave it at that. And then are there any other ones that I can go ahead and grab? Is Link's feet real? It's right.
No, I'm sure right. there's feet pics of Lick somewhere out there.
I think that actually might be all of them. Oh, Oolong costume on wedding night. This one haunts my dream because you know what this is? This is a premonition. This is a prophecy. This is now actions that have been set into motion that cannot be undone. It haunts me. It constantly makes me question whether or not there is such a concept as free will, because it is so definitely going to happen, even if I don't want it to at this point. Do you understand? You understand? This has been here on here since day one. Since day one, it's been over a year. And it's still there, staring at me. That's all to say on this one. I'm not married. I have a very lovely girlfriend. Hopefully things progress to that point. I would love that. But yeah, that it haunts me to this very day. All right, real fast. I'm gonna have to put the brakes just a little bit. Twitch is telling me that I need to run an ad, so we need to find something for a minute and 30 seconds to talk about. So in that case, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and see if there's any honorable mentions. Tokens are crypto. That's not true. Behaptics codpiece. Pretty sure that's not true. I think that was it. A lot of these have stuck around for a while. The only other one was Weso siblings, which, yeah, I think Weso has siblings. I think that's all that one was about. Some other things that have, I actually looking back at the previous section real quick. Ooh, did someone just raid me? Oh my gosh, VR Central raided my stream with 22 viewers. Oh, hello everybody.
Just in time for the
my name's Dr. Oolong. I'm the Mad Dr. Spark. You're coming at the very end of a very long video that at this point only had 3 viewers. So yeah, we are going over the Blaston Iceberg. If y'all don't know what this is something that circulates quite frequently on the Blaston Discord channel. And I guess we're about to drop a truth bomb on all these people who are not going to understand the context at all.
I'll try.
So maybe a little bit of context is in order.
So let's go back to the top. Let's go back to the top for everybody.
Let's start all the way from the beginning and real fast too. That's Robo President. You should go follow him on socials and stuff like that. I'm sure he has better SEO than me. Anyways, so we have to start with Cheeseburger is BearBlast.
All right. So so those of you just joining in, Blaston is a 1v1 bullet hell game in VR for Oculus Quest and other VR platforms. Now, you can make accounts, and some people make Smurf accounts. Those of you probably watching know what a Smurf account is. Some people, some well-known people, in this case, a user known as BearBlast, has another, let me preface this very carefully.
Yeah, in front of the 22 people.
Yeah, in front of the 22 people, and the people who will watch this later on YouTube. I can say with 99% certainty, right, because I'm going to wink at the audience here, right, to avoid any legal issues, that BearBlast is Cheeseburger, in my opinion. I can say that with most certainty that he is the same person. They have the same build, they have, right? But I have undeniable proof of that. So if we go down the list, we're going to go back down into the
real fast. All the people who are joining, who are expecting Blaston gameplay. Sorry, we're doing this iceberg thing. But there are actually a ton of Blaston videos down there. I'm just going to go ahead and leave some in chat. Because yeah, we've got this last item that relates to this. But just to preface all of this, we've gone through this whole list and we've talked a lot about Smurfs, about players that are masquerading as other players who go ahead and have lower level Smurfs that they like to use. And this is all led up to this, and Robo President has been very touchy about this. So we're about to get a truth bomb.
Okay, so let me say this. Let me preface this too. I know that when I drop this, one, BearBlast is going to be pissed at me forever. But to be honest, I mean, you'll just whatever.
It's on the iceberg. It's on the iceberg. It's already out there.
I honestly don't even freaking care anymore. So when the baby spine BearBlast incident occurred, the most recent one that resulted in, the Cheeseburger incident, right? That resulted in the unfortunate word that was said and whatever. Cheeseburger reached out to me and said that I was the community saw me as a bit of a mediator. And so he had the footage of the game. And so I legitimately wanted to see it because I wanted to get a an idea of what had occurred, because I had heard that things were said and gestures were made. So I wanted to see. I hadn't taken any sides yet. So I watched it, and whatever. There were some regrettable gestures that were made. But I had to keep digging because he posted it from a Facebook account. Cheeseburger did in this direct message that I still have. I don't know if he's watching. Maybe he's going to go back and immediately just start deleting these. But I already recorded everything and screenshotted everything. So the Facebook account, and remember, this is not a dox because this is not a real person. Because I'm not going to say BearBlast's real name on air because I know who BearBlast is. But
okay.
So it came from an account named Bobbina Biggun. Now,
thank you for following.
Yeah.
Pika. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
So let me go ahead. I'm going to share. I'm going to share my screen. Can you capture?
Okay. I can. Yeah, I can.
Let me.
Oh my gosh, the deepest lore.
Yeah. So let's capture some of this. All right. So this is a screenshot from that Bobbina Biggun.
Okay. All right. Hold on one second.
Let me pull it up.
I'm just gonna go ahead and bring the whole thing over. There you go. Sorry, it's showing twice, technically speaking. Okay, yeah. So I am seeing that it's from this person. It just says Baby Spine Talks there.
Right. So this is the screenshot of the Facebook clip that Cheeseburger sent me. And this is the game between Baby Spine and Cheeseburger that resulted in the unfortunate word. Now, if you click on, I'm not going to show the full profile. I have the footage of it, but just for the sake of time, because I'll have to maybe when I go through and edit the video, there's stuff I can show that I'll try to blur out to avoid doxing people. But if you go into Bobbina's profile, it doesn't link. She's not friends with the real BearBlast at all, but the real BearBlast eventually shows up in tagged pictures, but this Bobbina person is not in any of those pictures, because if you reverse image search this picture, it comes up as it's like an adult, it comes up on adult websites, for porn.
Yeah, so it's obviously a fake.
It's a fake. It's Bobbina Biggun is not a real person. None of it's real. And all the friends that are on the friends list, most of them are all bots too. And they all were created in accounts from around 2011. And on top of that, they all work at Mafia Wars, which I don't know what that's about. That's kind of super cryptic.
I know what Mafia Wars is. That's a Facebook game. It's a Facebook game.
It is a Facebook game. But why are they all getting their education and working at Mafia Wars by the hundreds? It's kind of weird. So there's two possibilities here, because they're all tied together. Because like I said, if you scroll down on Bobbina's page, this fake account has no pictures of themselves, and they eventually, Bear's real face does eventually show up, but this Bobbina person is not in the picture because they don't exist. Bear is just tagged in the picture for some reason. So either this is a bot account in a net of bot accounts, and they might use them for some kind of promotion, which is possibility number one. Possibility number two, this account was made just to play Mafia Wars a long time ago, and just exists, and so just tied to the rest of the Mafia Wars accounts that they all were made, and Bear just uses it to just has it around still. But what's even weirder is that he does the same. So he has this list of all the people that he plays Blaston with. He keeps trophies of the people he beats, just like he does on his main account, on his BearBlast, where he keeps the list of all the people he beats. And his real life brother is also friends on this Bobbina Biggun account, which is the same account that messaged me. So that's undeniable proof that Cheeseburger is BearBlast, for one. But for two, Bobbina
this
Biggun,
whole thing was just to prove that Cheeseburger is BearBlast.
Yeah. So, but
undisputable proof. But
yeah,
yes,
it says undisputable proof that Cheeseburger is BearBlast. So that is done. Sorry, like it's done. But 2, who is Bobbina Biggun? What the heck, dude? Like, I'll show it in the final video. But if you reverse image search this, like this picture, it comes up with all kinds of weird, like just adult results.
Adult links, let's just say, for the sake of everybody at home. Yeah,
it's so strange.
Yeah, it's stupid, but you know what? As a fellow old back in 2011 player of Mafia Wars, I do know that there were pretty significant bonuses that were tied to inviting your friends to play, reinforcing each other's operations and stuff like that. So, I mean, it is entirely possible that initially these were all created for that, and he just uses it as a way to further hide their identity now.
Yeah.
So, you know, keep them around just because you never know if you might need them. But damn, that's some digging. Good there. Wait, I'll be waiting on the BearBlast clapback video any day.
Sure.
Any day now.
It's gonna happen. I know I'm gonna stir up the hornet's nest on this one.
There you go. All right. And that's the whole thing. Wow, 2 hours, just about. So yeah. So this is going to be edited down into an actual watchable video by Robo over here. So go follow his channels. I'm gonna try to pull that up right now. Any closing statements?
Play Blaston. We need players.
Play Blaston. Please play Blaston. Please, all you people who just raided. I'm gonna actually put on. Can I just put on highlight reel? The highlight reel is gonna show. Yeah. Okay. This is Blaston. I'll put on the fab cam too. This is Blaston. This is what it looks like. It is a VR PvP bullet hell shooter. It is super, super, super cool. We are in the middle of a VR Master League actually right now. So things are going to be heating up for sure in the next couple weeks. Yeah, stay tuned. Stay followed on this channel. I'm about to post Robo President's channel. And yeah, please do come play Blaston. I'm going here. I can just go to Blaston content. Bada boom.
Cronster's asking why we're still awake. It's only 11 o'clock at night. It's
yeah.
Late.
We got that West Coast time, baby.
Yeah, where's he at?
East Coast. Ugh, I'm going to be on the East Coast again soon. That's going to be disgusting.
Oh.
Disgusting Eastern time. Ugh. All right. Well, I've been Dr. Oolong. That has been Robo President. And just remember, a doctor a day keeps the assholes away. I should really actually plug my own events. I have a tournament going on tomorrow. It is going to be an Iron Lights tournament. If you have never played Iron Lights before, it is a VR sword fighting game. It is lots of fun. It's going to be a fairly small prize pool, but we've got a lot of really great people who came out for it. So yeah, come watch that tomorrow. Starts at 11 o'clock. And then, oh, hey, Robo President, you're right there. And then next weekend, I am hoping to do a Blaston Rookie Invitational tournament. However, no one has signed up for it so far. So I may hold a secondary event. I still need to do the boss rush for Blaston and before I go on a bit of a hiatus. So stay tuned again. Go ahead and hit the little heart down there if you want to be notified anytime I go live. All right. I think that is going to be it. I've been Dr. Oolong. Just remember, a doctor day keeps the assholes away. That has been Robo President, and now he's going to say a funny thing.
A funny thing. Scripts are for... Wait, I can't say that. I just realized I'm on Twitch.
You can say scripts are for Simps. We did the entire thing unscripted. You could totally say script.
Am I allowed to say that here? I tried
Simps
to say... I think I tried to say Wang in the chat last time I was here, and I got... like...
Oh, baby, when it's on camera, you can say whatever you want.
All right.
There you go, right there. Right, just drop it right on stream. we stayed up so late that now we're getting all the European people again.
Yeah, here come all the Europeans. They're just all shuffling on.
Yes. Yes, scripts are for simps. Live record all your stuff. That way you spend twice as long editing it. So,
Yes.
yeah. All right. I will check you all later.
Peace.